Hello, everyone, and I'm really happy to have everybody here today. You do not see yet, but we have huge amount of people today on the stream. We had impressive hackathon, which is Build Your AI Startup Hackathon, where everybody on the community had opportunity to build with latest generative AI technologies. We had all models available on LabLab involved in this hackathon, and out of 1,500 people, we had 27 solutions that were built. And out of the solutions, they were really high quality. They were really ready to market. We choose 6 really the best. And today, this time when we need to pick winners. And just a quick reminder that winners of this hackathon will have opportunity to join our accelerator program called Slingshot. You will have more information from Pavel and Matthias in a few seconds. So let me kick off the stream. And Pavel, Matthias, I want to give just a word to you to introduce you to the Slingshot program and maybe some inspiration before we'll start this talk, and then we'll invite the first team to present.
Hi, everybody. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Effectively joining us for a whole week, and now joining us further to see who's the winner. Whoever is the winner, we're going to be spending a lot more time together because you get to work with us further and enter into the Slingshot program, as Alessia said. So hopefully we'll be seeing you on a daily, weekly basis, and then more and more as you get your product to market, release, get financing, and effectively build a unicorn here with us. So it's a beginning of a journey, and ideally we stay here together for longer. So I'm very excited, very happy to see you, and that's from my side.
Yeah, all I can add, I'm very excited to see the finalists and what they have built. We have seen quite some amazing submissions, far too many to fit into this final, actually. So, anyone that doesn't make it this time, come back next time and build again. It's a great time to build software and innovate in software. A lot of applications that have existed for a long time are rapidly getting exchanged for the new generation of application built on, among other things, foundation models. So yeah, keep building and grinding, and you will at some point hit your head on the nail.
Thanks for the inspiration, Matthias. Well,
maybe Simon, maybe you wanna say a few things.
Well, I am very happy that we had so many people to join, and I'm really looking forward to the ingenious solutions that you've created. So I'm super happy to listen in.
Thank you, Simon, for sharing. All right, guys, let me give you some instruction what will happen today, and also how you can interact with us if you are watching the stream on Twitch. Well, today we'll have a presentation of top 6 teams. So we will see their presentation that they have on their submission page. And after that, we'll have short Q&A session. Let's keep it no more than 3 questions, so it will go fast because we'll have really huge amount of people today. You will see it. And also, you may interact with teams as well through the Twitch chat. So I'm checking this chat all the time, and I'm your MC and advocate of viewers for today, so I can answer and check everything during this stream. So feel free to write there, and I will be happy to address these questions to the teams. And without further ado, I want to invite the first team of today's stream, which is Trace AI. So they built an amazing project, and now we are ready to see your presentation. For those who are in this call, guys, please make sure to open Twitch on the second window so you can see this submission as well, and then to be ready with your questions. Let's see the first project.
From 2014 to 2019, more than 1,500 journalists were arrested. over 400 were kidnapped. I'm Dario Lopez, happy member of 5AI, and today I'm here to introduce you to Trace AI, also known as Tracy. As you see here on the screen, we are trying to solve the worldwide recognized journalism's problem. One of the most accurate that we can describe is the freedom of speech. You see that the press freedom by country is recognized as bad, and we are here to try and solve that. How we do it is because we at 5AI, we trust in the ability to quickly fact check any information, okay? That's a superpower. We enable you the traceability so you can work fast in a time manner. The problem is easy. At the end now, in this over-informated era, we see a lot of gaslighting. And this is something that actually politicals use as a strategy. We can act as a fact checker because it takes long time to research for fact check something, but this has no time to just spread falsities. We are here to provide you a time-serving service because majority of journalist times goes only into doing research. The solution is based on 3 simple steps. First, we index official public statements and records only for official and trusted sources. We summarize with semantic understanding so we can extract the most relevant data for you. And it's easy to use. You have information as a service through a simple user interface. The product overview, here we can see that it's unique because it fits the right and sweet spot between ChatGPT and Google, covering both their limitations. It's tested by our first user and is approved. And it's first to market because it's broadly recognized the use case, but the existing tools are non-AI tools working on it. Here you have a screenshot of how it looks like, and I will show you in a demo in a second. The benefits of the product are really that it's simple and quick, it's worldwide audience, and we are democratizing the information. How are we making money with this service? At the end, we have a user validation already there. We will love to use it. I will say this is a 10 on usefulness. Sounds great and very useful. We have that already from journalists and people in the space. The licensing model will be coming as a freemium. You can ensure and you can start using this with limited requests per day in a free tier, and then you can go to advanced or pro tier for greatest features. Here we have the coverage of the user experience and the technologies involved. When you arrive to our service, as a user, you will first create a user query through the Streamlab app. We have been using Cohere generated and embed to create the embeds, and then afterwards do a similarity check so we can build the relevant information and present it to you as fast as possible as an output. Our competition is not that broad. We know that Write Sonic has some services. It's a big service that provides similar functionalities, but is not aimed and not designed for journalism. One Machine provides legal documents, and we also want to highlight one of the past AI Lab AI Hackathon winners because it did a great design on a very well implemented indexer. Our growth strategy will be based on targeting our customers, looking for their pain points, iterating, and building awareness with it. This is our team. You can meet up, and I would like to publicly highlight the commitment and the efforts that this team has been putting in for the last 7 days. We have achieved great milestones, and we will be doing it with your help. Before we go out of here, I would like to highlight and bring directly a demo for you to see the product in works. This is the user interface where you can just land and start making your queries. So let's say what US thinks about the Russian-Ukraine war. President Biden will meet President Zelensky and his team for an extended discussion on support for Ukraine. You want to know more? I will bring you here to the official White House statement. Powerful. If you want to know more, maybe we can check what the US says about the January CPI report of inflation. President Biden is working to lower costs for families and rebuild supply chains. Let's read more. And again, the White House official statement regarding the January CPI report. Powerful, right? So if you want to know more and you want to do more research, you can just get in touch with us on the Teams chat, on the email. But I, again, would like to highlight that this week is being tremendously effortful, and we have done great progress, and we will be waiting for you to guide us throughout the actual service in production. Thank you very much, and hope you like it.
Thank you for the team presentation. I'm really excited to see the project, and I love really how cool competitor research you made. So you even highlighted all the competitors and the advantage you have in front of them. So Dario Fury, I see you here, and probably other team members as well. Maybe you want to have like short introduction to your project to say and to share your emotions actually for today's stream.
Yeah, sure. We also have a few members that are missing that I think they are on the channel if you can bring them up. And also Nomi's here.
Of course.
But actually it was kind of funny at the same time, kind of seeing myself on the stream. Didn't expect that. Okay, we have it. There you go. Here's Chris. And also Sebastian should be around.
While I'm editing them, you may start with actually a quick intro to the project.
Yeah. You wanna go, or should I, or Fidi? I can bring we cannot hear you now, but yeah, I mean, actually, I wanted to kind of bring also the really appreciation kind of form, because we really enjoy doing this hackathon and kind of knowing all the people, different cultures, different backgrounds. We really like the idea of this community that you guys are creating, and I will really like to be part of it. So that's the first step. Actually, the product itself, I mean, do you want to kind of give an overview of the service itself, of the what we did, or from our side, what do you mean, Alessia?
I mean, I think we like we're super excited to have you here. Number one. Second of all, really great, up to date and timely project, right? Because obviously, the use of AI for powerful applications that are also kind of bringing good into the world is at the core of our thinking, right? This is solving a big problem. So, like, I'm really interested. What inspired you? Because that's missing. Like, what's inspired you to actually choose this problem to solve? I know it's a big global problem, but for you guys personally, what did bring this up to your attention?
Right. Can I go?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so first of all, thanks for having us here, and thank you for organizing this for us. And as far as the inspiration of the project goes, we all had brainstorm sessions, and we thought about different projects and ideas. And this particularly stood out for to us as the most impactful. And I came up with this idea because in my experience, I have seen these kind of issues currently in a lot of countries, in my own country, that there are a lot of misinformation going on, and there are some very small groups of people who are trying to do these fact check services, and they are very underfunded, and like the amount of misinformation and the amount of you can say gaslighting is a lot from all the different places. So a product like this can help them increase their efficiency, and also actually bring a lot of common folk who are not very aware or knowledgeable about journalism and research. This can give them the power to do the fact check themselves.
Yeah, on that decision-making process, also we as a team work together to decide what was the most impactful, as he said, and we actually, I think that is something that to highlight and to share with the guys. Like, we did an approach like on several pillars of what we would like to approach our idea and how we will be working as a team based on different factors, and then we choose what will be the idea. And this definitely, yeah, was a win based on that impact that it can bring into the world. It's not only for journalists, right? It can also be used by yourselves, like just to see whoever say what and when. That's it.
Definitely. I don't want to take up all of the time, but my final question, and then I'll let Matthias and Simon ask questions, is so how did you actually get users in that short time frame? Like, what was the process, and how did you go about to do that? Yeah, how was that process, and who were the users? Was it like friends and family, or was it like people that you basically approached over the internet, or people in the community? Like, how did that happen? Because it's great that you already have users.
Yeah, so let me answer that. And this is a very good question, actually. And the answer is a mix of all those. The first feedback, the first two feedbacks came from friends who are doing journalism studies. They're college students. And then the further, I also reached out to people who are actually in the field. So one of my friends, she's from Switzerland, and I've only met her like through online, through the internet, and she gave like one of the most valuable feedbacks to us, like what kind of things, the features that we can include in the future. So the answer is that we took help, feedback from friends, families, people who are actually doing this in the field, and students as well.
Okay, awesome. So I'll let everybody else ask questions.
Thank you for those.
So I can ask a question. Could you guys tell a little bit more like about the technology you are using behind it?
About the what, sorry?
The technology you are using behind it.
Definitely, yeah. We actually had a good technical team here that actually is really well connected, and we kind of joined the dots. Everything started as like we realized that problem, and we start thinking like, okay, based on the tools that we have here on our box, what can we do to make this problem not an issue, right? And then we start discussing about what are the options inside OpenAI, like inside Cohere, and then we understood how can we use that technology. In that case, do you want me to go through kind of how are we using those models, or it's more like about how the inspiration come? Although Sebastian, I can see you also there. That's good.
You can tell shortly.
Yeah, definitely. So
much detail.
yeah, based on, for example, the past experience that we also have with here Chris, that is also on the call, but it's very late for him. But we understand that the main tools that will be needed for us was first, how can we shorten those times, and that's why we also working with those indexers, and then to have the answer fast, because was the kind of the mandates, one of the mandates, and also how to build that relevant information from the user. Then is when we start thinking about how can we use AI to do some similarity checks. At this moment on the MVP stage that we are not using that. We are using NumPy to kind of do the similarity, but we will be using Cosine similarity in the future, and we are creating the embeds with a Cohere model. So we are using Cohere to create the embeds and also build the summaries of the text. So then when the user is actually using the service, they can see the summary of the whole of the paragraph, because that's what we see based on the studies, that most of the journalism's time, for example, goes into doing research and reading a lot of like through long blogs, like maybe Twitter, official YouTube accounts, watching videos, and then they can build their actual feeling of the news or whatever is the topic, and then they can present it. So we try to sort that out based on that semantic understanding, based on that fast answer thanks to indexing, and the similarity check. If anyone wants to add something from my team, also feel free, of course.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, if that answers the question, I'm saying just try to do it. Yeah.
We have time for one more question. Matthias, Simon, maybe Pavel have something to add?
Well, I can add the final question. So my question would be on go-to-market. Like, what's your line of thought in terms of go-to-market? Where do you start, and how do you scale from that position?
Right.
Yeah, that's. Go ahead. No.
So in terms of where do we start, we have actually started, since it has been a few days, we have actually started to reach out to these small group of people who run companies such as Fact Check India, Alt News. So these are Indian-based fact checkers. Apart from that, we also, as mentioned in the pitch, we want to keep this as a freemium model also, so everybody can use it without having to pay for it. So go-to-market strategy basically starts with these. We'll try to have like the B2B model, talking with these institutions whose employees are journalists, whose efficiency can be increased by this tool. So so the B2B model and the freemium model would be like our go-to-market thing. Vidar, you can add more.
No, just to add on top of that we really think that the Beam freemium, and it's something that can help us to kind of grow our audience, because at the end, if you have that ability to play around with the tool, you might just do it for fun, and then you can just mouth by mouth kind of tell your friends or your coworkers, and then is when the user can kind of get most. So as we kind of have that limited request, they can create this stickiness to the service. That's why we trust, and then grow kind of based on that B2B, because we actually focusing on the journalism agencies and kind of marketing companies, but the kind of the user experience by individuals is also something that we consider to be impactful.
Yeah, I know we're out of time, but probably let's talk about it later. I think like the piracy checker model, the plagiarism checker model will work for you guys a lot, because you can offer it for free to journalists and then offer a B2B analytics plus a paid subscription, because like some people actually care about the facts, and they will want to know whether the people that are working for them, are they actually checking the facts. And there also is going to be a plague of this hallucinated content coming out, right? Because of AI, that will need to be fact checked, because obviously the content will be written by some poor journalist using one model or another, and they will not check whether it's real or not real. So there's actually a huge wave that you guys, I think, will run based on this, right? Because it's just AI checking AI.
That's actually a problem that we will be facing all. But yeah, we wanted to kind of make also a brand out of it. That's why we looked for a name that was kind of sticky as well. That is what is called Trace AI. Like you got the traceability for the people for what they have been doing, so they can get it like, hey, I don't know, ask Tracy, kind of like that.
Yeah, man. Accountability, guys. Accountability is the name of the game right now, for politicians, for journalists, for everybody. And real-time fact-checking on TV, or on media, or on streams, or on podcasts, or anything. Yeah, that's just a gold mine. So all props from our side. Sorry for taking too much time, Olesha. Let's move on.
That's fine. I believe Nav Teams has really huge amount of food for thoughts, I would say, about their project. Guys, I'm asking you to move to the Open Voice One channel and watch the stream, asking your questions in the chat. And we are moving to the next team, which is Cowork AI. They have amazing tool that allows you to create like full strategy on social media, I would say. So we'll hear now more, and then we'll have time for Q&A session. Let's look at the presentation.
We are Team Cowork, and we're building a smart assistant that helps small business owners with co-creating social media posts for selling their products. Our team consists of Rivaldo, Frank, Tinsey, Magnus, Adnan, and Mohammed. Social media is difficult. Creating content for social media is hard and time-consuming for a small business. Being creative and at the same time knowing what content that works the best for sales is complicated. Budgets and resources limit small businesses to hire social media experts to help out. That is why we created Cowork, an AI coworker that will assist and manage social media. And here comes Frank to take you through a product demo.
Greetings, this is Frank from the Cowork team, presenting what we've built for the Lab Hackathon. This is a Flutter application, cross-platform, Android, iOS. Let's jump right into it. First things first, connect Instagram account. So we're gonna click this button. This is going to initiate an OAuth 2 flow through Facebook's Graph API for a developer app that we've built for Cowork, so that we can basically manage posts, query deeper information about clients, and inform the generation to be more fine-tuned for their specific profile. This is currently has this banner submit for login review because we are pre-production. We just spun this up for the hackathon, but we plan to proceed into production. So let's authenticate. This is going to pull accounts that are affiliated with myself. I can show you guys here. For instance, Frank and Friends Coffee, Guard Investor, etc. Let's select one of the accounts to authenticate with. First things first, this is pulling some metadata from the Facebook Graph API, and it's feeding it into ChatGPT. I have a script running through Google Cloud that I've deployed for the OpenAI Node.js package. So this is kind of accumulating some information. It's figuring out like a profile roughly on, who is Frank and Friends Coffee, what is kind of like the vibe or atmosphere with their general posting. And we get started with uploading a new product photo for us to begin a new flow. So let's upload a photo. So what's happening here in the background is this is hitting another API called Clip Interrogator. This is for basically finding a description of an image without asking the user for a description of the product. So we can identify and inform masking for basically removing the background properly and then placing that image into a generated environment. This model here is this is optimized for use of Stable Diffusion 2.0 with the VIT-H14 OpenClip model, which is pretty cool. So let's give it a moment. One path of optimization here is for us to invest in kind of like souped up hardware, if you will, so that some of these calculations run a little bit more efficiently. But for now, for the hackathon, we're using open source and like kind of free or relatively free tooling and free credit tiers. So you can see it identified that this is a cup of coffee sitting on top of a wooden table. What is the purpose of the post? We'll just say to promote our coffee shop. You can put anything here. This will inform the direction of the generation. For this use case, you can see here, we're relaying to that ChatGPT touchpoint through Google Cloud, and it's coming up with a title for the post and a description with some hashtags. And then it is coming up with basically a profile to generate a new image with. And through all of the metadata, the model came up with this kind of palette on a simple level to inform the latent diffusion. And this is the generated image that has come about. Now what we're doing further is we're adding in some deeper NLP NLU so that the user can basically say, you can generate another image, or can you generate another title or description? This is in an upcoming version. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for that, Frank. And here comes Rivaldo to speak about the business opportunity.
We also think that there's a significant business opportunity for this, where we are able to charge the businesses using our service a subscription fee ranging from like around $30 US. And if we are able to target around like 5 million online SMBs, we can reach around 150 million monthly recurring revenue. And these numbers are derived by our analysis in terms of like other competing services, and also in terms of like the number of SMBs using online products such as Shopify. Lastly, we want to say thank you so much for LabLab to organize this hackathon and for everyone who listened to our presentation. We are currently raising pre-seed or seed. Please let us know if you are interested. You can reach out to us on commerceailab@gmail.com.
Thank you, Cowork AI, for presenting your project. And I see we have Frank here for sure, and Magnus as well, right? Guys, happy that you joined us. Share with us your excitement. We'll move on to the questions.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for this. The three of us are here. We have like more members joining us in the hackathon as well. I think like some of them couldn't join, or they're like in the other like Discord like watching here. So yeah, thanks so much for all of this, and really happy to be here.
So guys, so kick it off. Tremendously impressive project in terms of time, complexity, and production readiness, right? So very, very impressive. My main interest is that how did you pull the team together, right? I'm really interested. How did you pull the team together? How did that process work? How did you find each other? Because it seems like you're, very tight. It seems like a very tight group already. and you produce something that's very tight. So I'm wondering, how did that happen? What's the dynamic there?
Yeah, definitely. So the three of us, Magnus, Frank, and I actually already like knew each other like before the hack. So we were already like thinking about ideas and working together for a bit on this. And we met like from like uh, some alumni groups and Meta and YC. So that's how we get to meet each other.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
And then we we scoured the projects as they were coming together on Discord and on the LabLab AI UI like website. And initially, I was just typing in comments like, "Hey, you guys are doing Flutter. I'm also a Flutter engineer. Let's maybe collaborate." Or you guys are doing latent diffusion or stable diffusion. Hey, I'd love to collaborate. And through that kind of outreach, initially, we met Tinsei, Adnan, and then Muhammad. So they joined us as well.
Yeah, and we got like to meet like some cool people here. And if there's like more people who are interested in working with us that's watching this, any engineers, AI engineers, feel free to reach out. Would be happy to work with you.
I love the shameless plug here. That's what we're all about. So no, but that's actually great. Great that you guys kind of knew each other. You knew what you wanted to build. You put some people together. But I'm sure that Matthias and Simon will have some other questions as well.
I would love to know how you came up with the idea.
Yeah, definitely. So one is like basically understanding of SMB problems, and second is knowing that AI can help SMB to do this. SMB is like small business, medium business, by the way. And I actually used to be like a small medium business owner. So all the pain points that were shared in the presentation, I felt that how much time don't have like budget to like hire these people. And right now with like the breakthroughs in AI, there could be like very cool things that AI can do, just like managing like your social media, content optimization, and so on.
So you're imagining, and I'm sure Simon will ask about the go-to-market as well, but I'm just imagining like, so your ideal customer base is basically the local pizza shop owner, the florist down the road. It's in, 1 million small business owners in New York, right? That want to get their content out, but they're getting, they can't get access to the quality of service. So is that the idea?
Yeah, that's correct. I think like those are the people who need this the most. We can like branch out into like more enterprise client like later on, but that's like the main target market that we're going after.
Okay.
I would love to know also, are you guys planning to move forward with this product, or was it more like a hackathon project? Yes.
Yeah, we're absolutely moving forward. So if you want to like keep in touch, feel free to reach out to us. We are like making our website for like early access and so on. So please feel free to check out on us. If you hear like co-work, that's co-work with .ai is like our plan like website domain later on.
Nice.
Yep, and we already have we got a Slack channel going. We got our sprint schedules going. So we're momentum is building. It's very fun.
Awesome. Keep the momentum up, and we can't wait to see it hit the market. And regardless, let us know when it happens, and we will try to support as much as we can.
Yeah, and just to mention, maybe should have mentioned this in the beginning, but regardless if one team wins or another team wins, so they kind of guarantee a slot in the acceleration incubation process. But everybody else that's attended the Build Your AI Startup Hackathon and all of the finalists are welcome to just apply to the form, and then we'll go through a selection process regardless, right? So I think that everybody on the stream is invited to apply and kind of go through it, and we'll take you through the process. But yeah, we definitely want to see you building and support everybody here, right? So not only people on the stream, but actually everybody in the community. Our goal is to find the best people, find the best projects, find the best ideas, and actually together build like a completely new branch of the economy, right? People basically ground up using AI, using shared resources, shared community access as well, right? Shared talent access to hyper scale their development and go to market. So just to keep that in mind for everybody. And I think we can go on to the next team unless Simon, any other questions? No. Okay. Yeah, go to market strategy. Everything was super clear in the presentation, by the way. So very, very clear there. Very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the Cowork AI team, and we are moving on to the next, which is automated AI content project. So I see that the team members are here, and let's check the presentation.
Hello everyone, we are Generate and our mission is to automate content distribution with AI. In today's age, it's difficult for a content creator to grow and be seen in social media if he doesn't produce a lot of content. We have people that does social media uploading 8 or 10 videos a day. So repurposing long content into other formats has been proven as a good strategy for growth. But not everyone has the time and money to be able to do this. It requires a lot of effort. Content distribution often makes the difference when distributing podcasts. If a podcast does only one podcast, don't have a lot of exposure. But if he does a lot of fragments, he can expose his podcast to a lot of audience that may have different interests. It is really time consuming, but it produces results. Big brands and companies have media teams behind that does it for them. But with our product, you can obtain that power with less cost and just in a few minutes. You can automatically have the content your viewers want. Our algorithm measures emotional polarity through the speech and chooses fragments that will create interaction. So don't waste any more money or time on content edition. Let us do that for you. Let's go through to the traditional process of content distribution. First, you would hire video editors, you will do the training and onboarding, you have them edit the video, it takes a lot of time and money, you have to keep all the files organized, you have to think for titles, description, they have to format the subtitles and formatting them correctly, and you have to have a person uploading them to social media. But with our process, you just have to provide a link to your podcast. Our algorithm identifies the most attractive fragments, and in some minutes you will have the titles, descriptions, videos, and subtitles in your inbox with just a few minutes. So what does our MVP does? It does instant title, description, and subtitle generation, and it automatically fragment the videos into most interesting parts. And you will be able to upload them and receive a summary to your inbox. So how it works? It connects with YouTube through an API, it does advanced sentiment analysis and algorithms, and it uses large language models, such as GPT-3, and a lot more things, but this is the basics. Our vision to the future is transforming content distribution and generation. And for that, we will identify the most common inefficiencies in content creation and distribution, and we will make it effortless for creators to make content, so they can focus on the important thing, that is creating more content. Our business plan would be a subscription plan. There will be different tier with different access. The first one will let the users try it a few times. The Pro will have more functions, such as keeping the file secure in our platform and access to new products. And for the personalized, the Elite, we will have the option to recommend them video suggestions and short video suggestions, not only with the videos he provides, but with his whole channel or his whole podcast. We will go through everything and we will provide them with some specific personalized recommendations for them through a model that we will build. The future steps is continue to build the product with new features such as real format, in video captions, automation, and more integrations. Have a database to store all the information, fine-tune the models to fit the specific use case, and deploy it into the cloud and build a custom website. Now let's do a demo. Put the YouTube link, here's your email address, whatever, gmail.com. You will click send, and it will say computing. You will receive an email with more details, the result, in the following minutes. It can take up to 20 minutes, so be patient and don't close the page. And when it's ready, it will output this. This is a data frame with some different titles, descriptions, and more details. And here it will provide title suggestions, the description suggestions, and the already cutted clips. So here you will have the most interesting parts. You will be
First thing you can do for a child is racing bridge.
And you will also have the option to download them. Hoped you like the demo. Our MVP has been built with Streamlit. First, we did some testing in Colab, then we moved into a GitHub repository with the code. We adapted to the code to be able to use it in an interactive way through Streamlit. And it has been a great challenge, a lot of errors and not knowing if it could have a successful demo. But even though it's not perfect, we did it and we are really happy. So thanks a lot. We hope to take on this journey together. We can build even greater things with your support.
Thank you for the presentation, and I see the project is really well complete and ready to market. And I'm inviting Antonio and Arturo to this stage. Guys, one sentence from you, and we will kick off with questions.
So, hello everyone. Thank you a lot for the opportunity, and thanks a lot to my other team member, Arturo. It was really good. If you want, I can share why the idea or why this came to mind.
Sure, yeah. Let's start with that. Let's start with the idea.
Yeah, I had a podcast with a friend, but it wasn't growing. It was like 1 year and no more growth. So I decided to research and see how we could grow it. And I read an article about how content distribution is really good and makes the difference. So I implemented the tips. So I started creating a lot of short form clips and was really annoying and time consuming. I was like a lot of hours doing clips and editing the titles, uploading to different social media. So the results went from having 1,000 unique viewers in a year to reaching an audience of 18,000 unique viewers only in the last month. So I said, this is crazy. Imagine doing this completely automatically. It can provide a lot of value for content creators. And also retailers or e-commerce are also looking to promote their content really quick. And they wouldn't have to hire some editor to do this. They can have some automatic good clips for this. And also the reach is completely organic and without ads. So I said, I have to build this. So I joined, I told my friend Arturo that also recommended Lab, and I said, we have to build this. We have to try this. So we did that.
So, I mean, clearly it's a very nice, easy product market fit, right? This is needed. We need it. Everybody needs it. People we work with every day need it, right? So when I saw this project, I immediately sent it to the team and said, hey guys, let's check if this actually can work for us and will it help? So I see a lot of potential, that's for sure. But there's also a huge technical challenge involved in processing this amount of information, this amount of, I would say, videos, right? Because as you see right now, it's 20 minutes for one, right? Or up to 20 minutes. What's the solution from a technical perspective? Have you guys considered, okay, let's say we accept this, we move forward, right? And it's gets some traction immediately. Did you figure out already, or do you have a plan how this can support, hundreds and thousands of videos on a daily basis, or is it just a simple fix?
We have a plan, and that is there's the good news that Whisper API has been released in the before days, and this means that our process can be much faster, because the process was 20 minutes because the Whisper model took a lot of time to load and we didn't have great computing, and also it had to load on the Streamlit platform that had only CPUs available. So the first step would be to move it to the Whisper API. That would make it a lot of faster. And the next step would be to deploy this Whisper model on some great GPUs and have much more computing power, so we can do this much faster.
All right. Anybody else? Questions? Okay, then I'll ask some more. If or maybe anybody else wants to ask questions, and then just jump in. But so another thing that is obviously that could be done in the next stage is the UX and the UI, meaning being able to do a WYSIWYG interface around switching various pieces of content between, right, and kind of setting a story or setting a timeline of the podcast and being able to do that. What's your idea of then the user experience? What should it be like? What's the ideal user experience when they upload the video, regardless if it's their video or somebody else's video? What happens later? What happens with distribution, right? Because that's going to be a big thing. Like, how do you distribute? What are the ideas about content distribution once it's generated?
Yes, we have to test this because there's two ways I would proceed with this. The first one would be like a cool UX where the user can see the suggestions and see which fragments they like more. And we would optimally have our own platform where the user see all his submissions and all the recommendation and all the video short content that were provided. But the other idea is for it to make it completely AI focused. So the AI automatically uploads the videos and distributes them, and with the information that the distribution gives, like for example the visitors, the likes, the interaction, we will know which are the best videos and which videos we should be creating. So this would be up to test to which thing users like most.
Yeah, that's definitely the direction I was thinking as well, right? That it creates a loop between the content it creates and the consumption of the content, and that's actually a very data-rich loop. Yeah, so it's a one-to-one conversion, right? This video has 1,000 likes or views that are 1 minute. This video has 1,001. Therefore, the 1,001 always, it's like automated trading, but with content, right?
Yes, like automated testing also of what kind of content works best, what kind of topics work best. Yeah.
So are you planning to continue with the project? Are you planning to build this into a startup, into a company right now?
Yeah, for sure. Like we want to go further, and we are trying to develop new models for different type of content. The thing we would need is some computing and more coaching to go further. But yeah, I think we need a bigger team. We are only two, but yeah.
All three things we can fix and help you with. Yeah, both compute and coaching and access to talent is available to you. So I hope that we see more of yourself and your colleague. Okay. Any other questions before we move on to the next one?
We have one more question from the chat. Let me ask you. Do you need more graphic processing unit power to process thousands of videos? Probably it's a question regarding tech, like local tech in the computer, right? For your users.
Can you please repeat it? Mute the.
Sure. So the question is, are you guys like, how much GPUs do you need, and do you need much more GPUs to process thousands of videos? And you answered that in the beginning, right, with the Whisper API. But the question is like, do you have any idea? And probably you don't, right? How much do you need?
I don't have the exact calculations, but the good thing is that at first it can be guided by the text, and we can identify the best part by the text. And as we have more computing power, we can include some computer vision models in order to identify the faces, to make some different graphic representations. So I don't know the exact number, but at first won't be a lot, but it will grow a lot as we include some open, like computer vision models.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to go. Is do the text first, then face recognition, emotional recognition, stuff like that can come later. That is much more consuming. Okay, great. Any more questions, or do we move on to the next finalist?
I hope we can move on. I don't see any questions. Okay. And kindly invite you to the Open Voice One channel to wait with other teams and check the presentation of your actual competitors. And now I'm inviting the next team, which is Inclusive Solution. They built a learning assistant called Focus X. I see it's a really huge team. All of them are on the call now. Let's check the presentation and then we'll talk.
Hey, I'm Adrian, and together with the best team, Inclusive Solutions, I would like to share a short story with you. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Ala, and I have been dealing with learning disabilities my whole life, as I've been diagnosed with ADHD, dyslexia, and dysorthography, but I would prefer to call them different abilities. If you know how your disability works, you can learn how to unlock abilities that regular people don't have. In the case of ADHD, it could be hyperfocus. There are a lot of people with learning disabilities around the world. Let's look at the numbers.
In 2020-2021, the number of students ages 3-21 who receive special education services under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, known as IDEO, was 7.2 million, or 15% of all public school students. Among students receiving special education services, the most common category of disability was specific learning disabilities, 33%.
And that's why we came up with our app, Focus X, to give people a tool that will guide them through learning process in a way that's adjusted for them with the use of artificial intelligence and help them unlock their powers. To get started, register and complete a short survey to give Focus X some information about yourself, and you're ready to go.
And now it's time for How Does It Work? Welcome, Ola.
This is a general technological scheme which presents the idea of our solution. The solution is based on the software as a service architecture, so the user will have access to the application both from a mobile device and a web browser from all around the world, thanks to the power of the 5G network. Using convenient graphical user interface, he or she will be able to navigate the application. Resources will be available thanks to the cloud provider. AI algorithms will run under a graphical interface. Mostly, there will be language models powered by external API solution from OpenAI. Models will be fed with text data uploaded by the user. The user will have access to various functionalities of the application. Each of them will be implemented as microservice that can be attached or detached depending on the user's choice. All these technological solutions will return responses using a personalized chatbot. The response could be a simple note, study plan, or quiz as a part of the material review. Content that allows the user to interact with the application in the form of queries and responses. Underneath, there is a backend that allows to embed queries, perform context-based semantic search, and summarize everything to the final response provided to the user. The backend is supported by external APIs, Cohere Embed API to convert sentences to the vectors, Pinecone VectorDB to save our sentences in the database and use Pinecone to perform a semantic search, and then GTP3 to get the final response based on language AI model.
In our demo, we have prepared a workspace for our user with preloaded file that contains a report on environmental impact of lithium batteries in electric vehicles. This type of material might be challenging for us, so let's use our app to extract meaningful information from it. Great! Let's try asking our bot to provide us with the same information, but this time we'll ask it in our native language, Polish. As you can see, our product makes complex materials way more accessible to our users. But how will we enter the market? With the help of educational content creators and networking sessions with specialists from the industry, we'll be able to gain an audience. We cannot forget about finances. We can offer a freemium model for private users and sell our app to various organizations such as public and private schools, learning centers, and centers that care for people with disabilities. But we are not stopping there. We want our app to be as inclusive as possible. That's why in our next steps, we plan to expand our target group to include people with other disorders and disabilities. We also have a mission that we want to carry out, which is why we are targeting 4 Sustainable Development Goals.
Great presentation, and we really love how prepared you are today with your business models. And I'm happy to invite to the stage today Alexandra, Ida, Adrian, Alicia, and Camille. Really huge team, guys. Happy to have you here, and you have one line intro, and then we'll kick off with questions. Who want to make a quick intro and share your emotions on this hackathon?
Okay, so thank you so much. I'm very appreciated that with our collaboration with the best team from the beginning, we knew what we want to do and what to present. That's something wonderful. How with team we can do something good for the world. And thank you.
So, guys, first of all, welcome to the Polish team. Yes, strong presence. We have a lot of Swedish people. We have a lot of people from different parts of the world. Some Polish people. Great to see you. So I'm actually super interested in this topic. So in special education needs and in intervention, right? So I'd really like to understand better, and I'll ask you an actually hard question. So you'll have a regulatory hurdle to make this product available to children as a therapeutic product. Yeah, because you can be in the entertainment side, the fun kind of entertainment, edutainment, if you wish, but that's not where you're aiming. Or you can be in the prescription, drug prescription product. So this is where you have therapist office. This is where you have kids with critical intervention needs. Yeah, and that's one market. So money is either in the edutainment or in the intervention. So how do you plan to, or did you consider how can you make AI available to children in a legal way before you embarked on this project?
Okay, so we are aiming for kids, for adults, for everyone who have a problem with learning. But Ala can say something more about that.
Yes, so our goal is especially to give the access to people who actually need it medically, and I am that person as well. So actually, it's kind of selfish, but I was thinking about myself and people like me. But not only. My mother is university professor, and she is working with deaf people. So, like through my whole life, I was kind of used to deal with various learning disabilities, and I was talking with my mother a lot about it as well. So we really want to make it more like a tool, but for like both people, like maybe not for enterprise, but like a learning tool for everybody. And we also want to personalize it. For example, for some institutions, Like I know there's a huge need for tutors, especially in oh my goodness, I don't have the word, but the place like the dorm. Oh yeah, dorms near special schools. And they don't have enough, they don't live with their parents who can help them, these kids, and they have like few people who take care of them, and they don't have enough resources to help them, and that will be a great tool for them. And we are aiming especially for institutions like this, also for like people like me who can just download it on my phone and just help myself finish my university.
Yeah, I think like if you definitely, if you look at it from the perspective of either the tutors or just people that want to focus, that have ADHD or whatever other learning difficulty, yeah, that can help them through. So I think that's definitely a good direction to go. So good answer. And I understand the inspiration as well, thanks to your background. Any technical? Can you tell us a little? Any technical element that you faced when you were building? Like what specifically got connected to what, and what are you planning to build next? Like what's the next killer feature that you want to continue on building with this project? So what happens in the next 2 weeks? What happens in the next month?
So I think what's not there, and it's a main part of this robot, we wanted to actually guide through the learning process. It's not, right now you can chat with it, you can ask questions, but we wanted to be the one who starts the conversation, be the one who is asking you questions, not in a way like, just in a way like real tutor would do it. And I think that is the next step. That is what is the main feature about that. Yeah.
Makes sense. Anybody else jumping in with any other questions, guys?
So that means we can move on to the next team. All right, we have Maverick AI, and before we will move on, would like to ask team that just presented to move on to the Open Voice channel, so you can check the stream from that channel as well. And we have Maverick team, and I'm just inviting them to the stage, and after that we will go and ask them questions.
Hello everyone, we are Team Maverick AI, and we're really excited to share with you our product today. I'm Samuel, and this is my team. As you can see, our team is quite diverse with a range of nationalities and skills. So, one teammate noticed his own rural community struggling to obtain up-to-date information on niche subjects like farming best practices. From our own experience, we feel that access to internet and AI tools is crucial for individuals to benefit from the wealth of knowledge available online, but access is not so common. However, this problem of access extends beyond rural communities. Poor internet infrastructure exists even in cities, which another of our teammates living in Argentina can testify to. The poor internet infrastructure creates a digital divide, leaving many people unable to take advantage of AI and online resources, hence widening the gap between those who have access and those who do not. So our solution, Maverick AI, aims to democratize and improve knowledge gathering in 3 key ways. Firstly, we deploy an AI questioning and answering bot via an SMS service, which allows users without access to the internet to get up-to-date information from the internet. Secondly, we aim to provide a competitive alternative to traditional search with an AI bot that presents up-to-date information in a digestible manner. Finally, our tool reduces manual customer service, thus making the service cost-effective and viable to provide. This is Maverick AI in use. It all starts with one person who needs help with a problem but has no internet connection available. That's where we come in. You can use the regular phone coverage to Maverick AI for your problem. For example, asking, what are some of your best farming practices? And the SMS will be sent to Cohere AI, which and then give you a response in the form of a text message with your answer. But how does Maverick AI actually do this? Firstly, the user sends an SMS. There will be a prompt for the AI to do a short code like 51009. All communications between our code base and the user are actually handled by the SMS API. And when our server receives the prompt, we translate the input language to English using My Memory API. The translated prompt is then fed to Cohere's grounded QA model, which extracts relevant and up-to-date information via semantic comparisons with Google searches to generate an answer. My Memory API then translates the answer back to the original language. This is processed in our backend server, which sends an SMS response to our user, where they can read the response in their input language. We already know what Maverick does and how it is built, but now we'll get a quick glimpse on how the startup will work. Woo! So our work will be in two phases. First, we reach early adopters through advertising and working together with community's key influential individuals. Second, after validating a proof of concept and a consumer base in phase 1, we will be reaching out to NGOs, corporations, and governments to leverage on their connection with the local communities. For example, rural agricultural workers that live in remote areas. Now, what do we need to be up and running? Our key resources are few. Team salaries, cloud services like servers, databases, and Cohere LLMs, and SMS API fees. For expenses, the main upfront would be advertising to get our initial customer base. The remaining costs are subscription fees on demand, leading to a highly flexible structure that scales as we grow. Last, but definitely not least, what will be our revenue streams? For individual customers, they can do a pay-per-use by buying credit, just like a regular mobile data kind of system. For institutions and big customers, they can pay a monthly subscription. And finally, for advertising revenue, we can do something similar to SMS marketing or Spotify 5-second ads for voice call. Now we'll be moving on to the demo. So the whole process starts with a user with no mobile data and a problem to be solved. We open the phone's SMS interface and send our questions to the Maverick AI phone number, in this case 59001. After a short while, we receive the answer generated by AI in our input language. This input can actually be in any language. It can be in Swahili, as in the first case, and now in English. And our AI will actually be able to process this and return it in their native language. So now we have a happy person with the answers to the questions they had, and all without access of internet. For future work, we are working to make our SMS service more conversational to improve the user experience. Currently, our grounded QA model returns informative summaries, but it lacks warmth. So we aim to integrate the grounded QA model with Cohere's Conversant, which is a large language model-based chatbot. Together, they can return relevant, up-to-date information in an empathetic manner to the user. Next, we are also working to incorporate a voice feature into the service. We aim to allow people to make a phone call and post their queries. We would like to make this possible by using Twilio for voice recording, and also Whisper for live translation of the audio data. This is because a significant portion of our target audience will actually be illiterate and will likely struggle to use a text-based interface like SMS. Lastly, we want to implement Q&A using our own databases. So this will allow us to curate the model based on our organization's needs and also give better answers to more niche communities, for example, farmers. As a whole, let's make the world a better place, but let's leave no one behind. Maverick AI can lead us to a more inclusive future. Thank you very much. Do refer to our GitHub, and if you have any questions or suggestions, we are open. Just drop us a message anytime. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation, and I really love the style of it actually.
and the structure as well. So I'm happy to invite to the stage a bunch of people, which is Toliva, Samuel, Shank, and Franco. So happy to have you here, guys. Quick intro from your side, and we are moving on to the questions.
Okay, yeah. We're really happy to be here. Really grateful for this platform. Where actually the three of us met. We have one more teammate that's not here, but yeah, and really grateful for this opportunity to work on this project. Yeah.
So, guys, welcome again. Thank you for spending your time with us for a week and now coming back to the stream. So I really must say that leaving nobody behind, yeah, in a digital revolution is a truly amazing mission and a vision. If I understand correctly, the go-to-market is, with the specific populations like agricultural populations, but there's nothing stopping you from giving medical advice or prescription medication or basically any other advice. So it's really bringing AI towards people that would not have a chance to experience it in any other way, right? So I'm thinking, what's the grander vision? Because clearly there is a grander vision. So helping initially is great, but what's the end game? Like, where's the billion-dollar company in this? Because in the basic model, there isn't one. It's a great company. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just searching for the billion-dollar idea.
Yeah. Actually, Solomon, would you like to share on this? Or if not, I can go. Yeah.
Well, I am not so sure if my internet connection is going to be great, but then okay, that's nice. Yeah, so Samuel already shared the background, and I must share that I'm quite nervous to be in all this with all the great presentations that have already happened. But then I'll give a bit of my experience and then respond to your question. So this idea comes from the fact that in Uganda, where I am right now, people love to use SMSs a lot. I mean, we send money through SMS services, and it's the most it's the preferred way to transact and even to do banking. So while I was doing my master's thesis, I thought about this, and is there a way that we can use the internet to achieve this? And then I met my team on the Lab Hackathon, and I'm amazed actually as we speak that this was really feasible. So the idea that we would like to approach in order to make money with this is we have two sets of I would call them targets. We have a client and then we have a user. So one of the greatest applications to this bot is going to be as a customer service agent or a technical agent that would be substituting the direct linkages between companies, between NGOs, between governments, and the users of the chatbot. So we are looking at having specific subscription packages for the companies that they will pay in order to be set up for the chatbot. And then we have a revenue share arrangement as well for each query that is made to the chatbot. Now, along with that, we also develop a larger customer base that will enable us to collect enough sufficient data that will help us to create more useful models and hopefully partner with bigger organizations like Cohere and OpenAI to create larger language models that understand the vast number of languages that exist in the world at the moment. Yeah, I hope that can cover it.
Yeah. So if I can, Bosco, you wanna go? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just a tiny bit. I own a 3D printing workshop here in my city, and nevertheless, I lack internet access. Now we have fiber, but 1 month ago, I couldn't connect to internet. So one thing is it is a tool also for every worker around the world, not even just for social impact. It's really have a industry impact also all around the world. Because if you go to the beach, you will still could be able to reach AI through your phone. So it is a tool for all people in the world, not just illiterates. So the customer base, it's really huge. Like, we didn't want to embrace all here, but actually we realized that we won't target only illiterate people or only rural farmers, but we will be working with niche clients all around the world and all areas, because we can train specific bots for each market.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, but the service SMS market, which I wasn't aware, I just Googled it, is actually worth today $2.8 trillion and is expected to grow to $3.7 trillion. And that is just effectively in the Middle East and Africa, right? So I think, again, regardless of what happens here today, I would encourage you to apply to Slingshot, and I think we will find a program for you, yeah, as a global team. Actually, I think there's a high potential we'll find something for you as a global team, just because of the market size. For me, whether you're able to reach that market size from this presentation, that's a big unknown, right? And not because of the presentations itself, but just because there's a long way ahead, and it's a business way. It's not a technical way that much. Yeah, the use of technology is really good, in my opinion. And so, from a technical perspective, can you just take us through, like, what are the various connectors, and why did you effectively, my question is, why did you use the Cohere model specifically? What kind of drove you to that choice? Was the multilingual factor involved? Like, what made you pick that specific tech stack that you picked for this build?
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for your insights. Yeah. So actually, the reason why we chose Cohere, the very first reason, is because it's something I actually met Solomon in the previous Cohere hackathon, and that's how we met, and so that was something that we actually became comfortable with at first. And from there we actually did some research, and we found like some of the Cohere sandbox models. Basically, in the initial stage, we were using Cohere Conversant, but then we realized that it didn't really hit like the sweet spot that we were looking for, because it was just having a conversation, but it wasn't really grounded in truth. It's kind of like the same problem that ChatGPT has. Yeah. So afterwards, we actually moved on to emulate the Cohere grounded QA, which actually takes Google search and basically summarizes it and gives like grounded factual information. So and one very key part about our product is that we want to have like we want to democratize AI use and give like more people the opportunity to use AI. So the whole multilingual factor of using like basically being able to take in a language and like understand target language and return that language was really important to us. And further, even further than that, we also want to implement all these voice transcription and voice call, so that illiterate people are able to actually able to access our technology as well. So it's really about inclusiveness, and one big thing is also like the data that comes from the different languages that of people that we'll get from all over, let's say, Africa or Argentina, and that's also like something that's quite important to us, because we don't want like these languages to be lost, or this data to be like insufficient, and which will lead to our models like not being able to reflect these languages. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing a lot. We are really running out of time, so if you have just a quick questions, go ahead. But if no, thank you so much. And we would love to talk more with you. Really, it's a very interesting project, and we love that you have a huge idea behind on it. And I guess we'll have time to talk. But now we have the last team for today, and we will know the winners of this hackathon very shortly. So the gray area, and let's check their presentation, and then we'll talk with team.
Politics, gun control, and AI replacing human jobs. It's difficult to make decisions around these topics because of the known and unknown consequences. Imagine you're a decision maker. Would you rather push for AI to accelerate progress? Or do we want to retain human jobs out of moral obligation? Hi, my name is Carl Kaw, and I present to you The Gray Area, the bias mitigating newsletter.
Over the years, critical thinking has gone down and the world is more divided than ever. Social media algorithms prevent us from evaluating other perspectives. It cages us into specific ideologies it thinks we want to consume because this sustains attention, giving room for more ads, increasing their revenue. Short-form content like TikTok trains people to accept information at face value and make quick judgments. This can be hard to unlearn because once an idea is cemented, new ideas will be uncomfortable to tackle. Because of this, the development of new leaders are slowed down. Worse, because leaders today have demanding responsibilities, they have little time to learn about rising issues. This ultimately harms the UN's 2030 goal of promoting peace, justice, and strong institutions by taking away holistic information for decision-making. Which is why we developed the Gray Area. We are on a mission to empower busy decision-makers by delivering concise, objective summaries of daily headlines while articulating the opposing viewpoints on issues to their inbox with AI for the sake of critical thinking. But wait, who are the decision makers? Our target users include Rachel, a government official who works around a specific end of the political spectrum. She wants to make evidence-based decisions for her people, but is busy and relies on coworkers' research. John is an executive of a tech company with 50,000 employees. He has no time to spare because he is always in meetings, but he wants to mitigate the risks of new technology and make sure his company is innovating responsibly. Emily is a fresh grad who wants to use knowledge about social and environmental issues as an edge to make up for her lack of experience and make a positive impact. Which is why we designed our newsletter to have 3 features. 1. Objective summarization. We harness the power of AI to make unbiased and concise summaries. 2. Points for and against. We want to train readers to look at the other side of a story first before making judgments. And 3. Custom thumbnails. Grabbing user attention and retaining them will be easier with contextual and customized thumbnails. But wait, how do you ensure that the content is quality and bias-free?
The technical architecture of the newsletter will consist of 3 main parts. The first part is when we use News API to get the top headlines for the day. If, for example, the top headline is about the academic effects of ChatGPT, we are going to pull up the articles about it, get the content, and divide this content to 3 most positive, 3 most negative, and 3 most neutral parts. And then we sprinkle some AI magic onto it.
Using OpenAI's GPT-3 API, we asked the model to mix the news together and produce an objective summary and 2 narrative parts. We then use the summary to produce a thumbnail image for the article, a title, and also the news category label. We then compile all of these information into an article and upload it to the database.
We use Firebase to save AI output and store emails collected by Google Form. Once a day, we run Python script that creates a newsletter from generated articles and HTML.
But wait, is it sustainable?
The Gray Area currently costs $2 a month per subscriber on our site to make, and we are looking to break into the $5.8 billion e-newsletter industry. And their biggest players such as the New York Times and The Economist each charges $20 and $25 respectively. Even our closest competitors, Ground.News, they charge $8.33 a month, and they don't even come close to what we're offering.
Our business model is really simple. We have subscribers who can read for free with quality ads provided by Substack, or monthly subscribers who pay $4.99 a month for the premium experience. We also have corporate subscriptions with minimum 1-year lock-in. So, what exactly makes premium worth it? From more news with no ads, to support in 90 languages. We can even let it explain like you're 5.
This is our team.
We are all freshmen, but we are ambitious. Really ambitious.
Though we have some limitations now, our future plans range from hearing the gray area right after your morning alarm to making a dedicated news search engine for power users.
Thank you. We hope the gray area helps us all work towards a more colorful world.
Thank you for presentation, and I really love the style of presentation. It looks like very professional, and I believe you spent a really good time on it. And I see now I'm checking your team page that even all the team profiles is gray, which is very good. Okay, so I'm inviting team to the stage, which is Merkson, Carl, Daisuk, Anas, and Vlad. So guys, happy to have you here. One line, feelings from your side, and let's move on to the questions.
We feel great and honored to be here. And I just want to plant this idea of it's because of this knowledge that separated us. And even for LabLab AI to create this amazing community of great talent, I'm really amazed by the power of being one step ahead through information, which is biased because I am alluding to our product, which provides information. So, questions away.
So clearly, one of the best pitches that we've seen so far. So very high quality of the presentation. Agree, guys. So would be very good to understand where are you taking the business model, right? So the it is an issue. Yeah, it's a topic that everybody is discussing, but would be really good to understand like why this idea specifically, but not from an ideological perspective, which I understand. But why this idea from building a company? Like what inspires you that this will be a great business?
So I can go for that. And what we thought was that we were researching on a subject that we were very interested in school. So one thing that came up to us was that there is a big retention, like 71% of current news readers say that they're not reading the news anymore because they are only seeing what they want to hear anyways. So they're not learning anything new. They're not seeing the opposite side. So what we were trying to do at the first stage was grabbing this retention and keeping them in the market while also turning them into some kind of profitable mechanism, a business model that we can lean on. And the second thing was that in terms of future plans that you asked, we were trying to think of embracing the generative aspect of the AI and have a search bar for users or like power users that subscribe to us have capability to search news by just entering the keywords, and then our AI grabs like the stories that are related to it, summarizes and gives them searches rather than us giving them top headlines. So they have like an extra advantage. And in the very, very future stage, I mean, after that, as a next step, we were also thought about entering into the social media markets, like from these texts, from these inputs or like news that we generated, creating short content, TikTok, Instagram, or like similar on the similar platforms, short reels, short videos to convert them into very easily consumable material.
And if I can build up on that, would that be allowed, or are we running out of time? Because I have 2 extra points to add in.
No, actually,
So
we really want to hear from you guys as well because it's a very innovative idea. The level of originality is very high. So please elaborate.
yes, ultimately, I believe that our news industry today is due for change. We want to adapt a new generation of news, especially if we're talking away from the social impact and into the business side of things, especially since, as we know, Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook Reels, they are the new mode of consumption. Because why? Because they're very short form and people are low on time, mostly because we are fostered to be more open to stimulation, which a lot of news, which are very long, don't have it right now. And second, and if I want to get into the deep nuances of what stemmed our idea to come up, it was from the idea of complex systems and how a simple decision can cascade into multiple failures or successes. Which, for instance, there was this drug company before. Its name was Vioxx, and essentially because of a bad idea, because of a not well researched idea, that made them lose about $4.85 billion through lawsuits. And second is because in COVID, because of Blockbuster, we have this classic example called Netflix, which we all know and love. But because Blockbuster, the old way of renting movies and watching movies, didn't adapt to the new digital generation, they sort of fell behind. And as a result, their company went down, stocks went down, they went bankrupt. So the newsletter is just one of the early forms of our MVP. And we know that everyone, even you guys can see how we can seamlessly integrate this to our daily routine, from hearing your news when you wake up from your alarm to the content you consume on your phones, which we have walking around. So the potential here is huge. But for now, we're narrowing it down, funneling it into the busy decision makers.
I don't know, anybody else have questions? Because if not, I have two more very quick. So first question is kind of the other, to continue on this thread. There is a distaste for mainstream media, and people like Joe Rogan or anybody else in the wheelhouse, they come up to tens of millions of views because of this distaste and distrust for large media. So is that the direction that you would like to take this? So to allow people to make up their own mind, and to actually open this up where people can make their own decisions about what's real, what's not real, and remove the, as you say, the bias from the media. I understand that. Who decides then?
That's the beauty of it. We allow independent analysis, and not only that, we foster this new way of thinking, which makes up for the lack of critical thinking we have. Because I know that social media spoon feeds us ideologies to take, sides to side on. But with this, we can have their first instinct upon looking at an issue to say, oh, wait a minute, let's look at one side and the other first before ultimately coming up with our own analysis. But on the business leader side, as you have seen from our user personas, we have seen that Rachel, the government official who is on one side of the political spectrum, she is fed with biased data. So giving her the opportunity to, with an open mind, look at the other side and effectively make laws that could impact real lives on state, that would be life-changing even.
Okay. And final quick question, very briefly, take us through the tech stack. What you built, how was it built, and why did you choose these specific models and tools?
Yes, so I can answer that question. So first, we used a news API, which is the start of our project, and it funnels like news from many languages so that we don't bias to one country as well. And then we go to ChatGPT, we translate if there are like language issues and stuff. And then we funnel them with a TensorFlow model for sentiment analysis. We did it for we did a time comparison with Cohere and other models, and we came up with the fastest one as the TensorFlow model because we don't want the user to wait a lot when they're trying to generate news from their own keywords. And then from that, we divide the news from like three most supporting ones, three most neutral ones, or three most against ones. This number can change at any time. It's just one line in the code. And we go ask ChatGPT to give us a summary of those for, against, and neutral point of views while making a general text if someone doesn't want to read everything separately. And after that, from this general text, we go to DALL-E, ask like, can you create us a thumbnail for this news? That's going to be clickable. A lot of prompt engineering goes there. And then we present all of this to the user on the website. And if you want to go on a little bit more, we give this stamp to you after they enter the keywords and we generate it in like around 50-60 seconds.
Okay, very cool. Anybody else questions, or should we move on to have an initial short conversation and then come back with the results to everybody?
Thank you, Pavel, for announcing it. Yeah, we will get back in 10 minutes for you. And for all teams, I'm asking you to don't leave any channels. Stay here and we will get back to you with the final results. Hello, and welcome back to the stream. I hope you are excited as we are here. We have plenty of people here. You may see that it's probably the biggest amount of teams from all the hackathons we had before. And let me just tell you the process that will go now, and you will know actually the winners of this hackathon in 10 minutes probably. So we have now 6 teams, and out of this top 6 teams, we will have one winner. Winner will have a place in a slingshot program and will gain also some benefits from us that we will announce later when we'll contact each of teams. And all other teams will be the finalists, and also you have guys opportunity to apply for slingshot program and go through this reviewing process. And now I'm giving the stage to Pavel and Matthias and Simon, who was the judges for this event, and they will go through each project, give you very valuable comments and reviews on your projects. And after that, we will know who is the winner of this hackathon. Pavel, please go ahead.
Sure. Great to see so many people back here. Sorry, turned off my camera. So great to see so many people. We just wanted to give you like a few comments from all of us regarding how we saw each project and what were the strong sides of each project, what were the things that could get improved. Focus X, great approach to handling a really big global problem and a big pain point for a lot of people. We think the project has a lot of potential. We also think it can become a very nice company that can make maybe 10, 20, 30 million dollars, but effectively there's a slightly limited market size that we identify and that we kind of have our concerns. So it is a startup pitch competition. So there are things that we can say that can be improved and that are very good. Also love the where the team is coming from. So in terms of the personal background that led you to make this decision. So I think if you stick with this project, you will make a successful startup. But the size of that startup is yet to be determined. Then in terms of generate, so automated content distribution, we think it's a very crowded space. We think you have a very unique take on some things. So cutting the videos, doing the distribution, I think that's a very good idea. Everybody thought that's a good idea. It's a little bit of a crowded space, so it will really depend where you take the product in the next few weeks. Also, there are constraints in terms of the resources that you will need on a very early stage to jump through that. In terms of trace, there is a really big need for public accountability. Again, this is an idea that has, in this specific flavor, has a lot of unique elements, but you will be entering into a crowded space, so you need to take the product to the next stage in terms of production readiness, right? It needs work in terms of taking it to the next level in production. And potentially we can help with that, and Slingshot can help with that. But out of the finalists, out of the teams, it's not the most advanced idea. So Maverick AI, we would strongly encourage you to apply to the Slingshot. You are not the winners today, but we would strongly encourage you to apply to the Slingshot because there is a huge market potential, and we believe you can realize it and you will have access to it, and we can guide you in the right direction. We have some very, very cool ideas potentially for you. And then that leaves us with two teams. So, but without further ado, so the winner is not the gray area. So the gray area we thought that again, it's a very nice product, very nice presentation, but you guys are going again with quite a production ready thing, but in a very crowded market. It's a product that you might it would be very, very hot maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, but today there's a lot of people already doing this. And so this means that the winners today, if everybody can hopefully strike and count, is Cowork. So Cowork, congrats, first of all. Congratulations. And we are so happy to have you here. The reasons behind this are quite straightforward. Yes. So the reasons behind Cowork are straightforward. Very advanced product, very advanced project. Yes, super strong team that solidified during the event. So not only did you show resilience and finding new people for your project, but also delivering it against, having a ready-made team, finding new people. We think the space is very clear. We think you're ready to go to market. So we are committed to give you resources, support, mentorship, access to clients, access to partners with us. And if maybe Matthias or Simon wants to add a few words about this. And we will also give everybody a little bit of a review of what the slingshot is. Guys, do you want to add anything, Matthias, Simon, to this?
Well, I add a couple of words from this. I'm super impressed by the solution, and I think it's certainly something that we haven't really seen on the market before. So would be great, or we're really looking forward to working more with you in the future.
Okay, so sorry, so guys, maybe you can say a few words. Cowork team, any instant reaction? Would be very good to hear from you.
Yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
It was so fun to do this. I mean, it was like a really, really fun experience, and I think it was just passion from the start to the end, and it was really, really fun. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and thanks so much for the opportunity. We were also actually chatting to join some more hackathons, just to replicate the sprint experience. I think it was very fun to just get something done in a short period of time. We were here watching all the presentation as well. So all the other ideas are super cool. But we are honored to be the winner. I think it just happens that we got the opportunity at the right timing, and doesn't mean that I think the other team should be discouraged. And let's definitely chat Pavel with all the other things later on. But thanks so much for this.
Yeah, just to supplement, literally we had a blast doing this hackathon, and congratulations to all the teams that we sprinted alongside in this process. It's really thrilling. I think for years now we've been dreaming of when kind of AI is going to hit mainstream, when it's going to feel like we can really utilize these tools for enterprise solutions, and to work with Stability AI's Stable Diffusion v2 in painting model, to work with the Clip Interrogator 2 model, utilizing the VIT H14 open clip is a dream come true. And some of us, I've been a Flutter developer for a long time, so building a mobile app is something that it's kind of been a dream to combine with AI for a while. So this hackathon was an opportunity to put together all of our prior training and deliver something that was relatively tight. So we're thrilled and inspired. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. And one step at a time.
Yeah, and I really wanted to add that we are tremendously impressed. So these are the winners. Everybody on this call is a winner, not only because they completed the project itself, but because you actually created things that work, that are very, very unique overall, right? It's not like these are projects that come every other day. We are excited and we invite everybody to work with us and to apply and to continue to build with your projects. Yeah, they just, in some cases, need another week or two maybe. And the cowork team really delivered on a short time period, crunched, yeah, and delivered something that is truly remarkable. And that's why today they are the ultimate winners. We'll be awarding you guys, by the way, I think at least a few $1,000s worth of credits on stability, just as a prize. We just actually chatted to the stability team, and they said yes, no problem. We'll give you guys some extra credits for this. So we are working with them quite closely. There will be a hackathon announced with stability. I cannot confirm the dates yet, but they are releasing new endpoints, something that you should be excited about, because stuff like that will kind of take your product to like the top level. Like it will be the only product in the world probably when it hits that it has this capability immediately. So that can be a big push for cowork as well. So happy to hear that. It's happy to say that to you guys, and I was happy for stability to say that to us. Yeah, maybe we can share a few words with everybody on the call and everybody on the stream about Slingshot. So we encourage everybody to apply, go through a very rigorous selection process, and then we'll take it further. And then we'll have one final announcement.
If you could pull up the slides, Max, please.
They're on the stream, but I don't know which slide you want to put up.
Slide number 6+.
Okay, so just let's go to 6, and it's 30 seconds.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what Slingshot is a an opportunity for you guys to basically access some more technical capabilities in our ecosystem. So we tend to think about it as an exoskeleton of tech capabilities that's designed to push you from proof of concept, sort of where you are now, towards an actual MVP. And the purpose is by the end of the program to actually be able to launch a production-ready application on Product Hunt, and also on our own app discovery page. The process of doing this is really a very structured format where we go through week by week, a 4-week sprint, where we help you with both our business insights within the team and also business or technology capabilities to make that happen. And as of now, we run Slingshot in beta mode, so it's only for our top performers in our ecosystem, which includes all of you. So we highly encourage you to actually apply to it. The program in itself, as of now, we have a program plan and we run it quite close and tight, where you get to work with us on a daily basis to figure out your next step and be ready to actually launch. And within the program realm or the scope, we expect you to do a short beta test with actual users, so we have some actual feedback to run on. And by the end of the program, we not only want you to launch on Product Hunt, but we also want to be able to facilitate for you to get into an accelerator. And we have started to host our own accelerator programs as well attached to this. So we want to pick up on that and make sure that you get the opportunities to actually be in a good position to take in some money by the end of Slingshot and moving into an accelerator program. And so we have perks connected to all of our providers and the tech marketers that we have inbound, which includes credits, it includes a workflow, it includes some legal support to actually set up your product. And if you're thinking about incorporating your business, we help with that as well. And besides that, we also have quite a lot of mentor support and on-clock calls with all of us to basically help you figure stuff out and move really quickly. I won't lie, it's quite of a short timeline and a rough program. So it's it's you can think about it as an extended sprint for 4 weeks, pretty much what you've been doing now for this hackathon. And yeah, we're very excited to invite you as our first users into this, alongside with some previous winners. And really looking forward for the rest of you as well to apply for this, because we're trying to ramp up now and bring people on board that really want to push your ideas and make them come alive. So that's what Slingshot is all about. Back to you, Paul.
Well, Simon, so thanks for sharing. Awesome. And yeah, we can basically thank you everybody for joining. As a final note, we believe that there's a way that the future will shape, and new technologies together with artificial intelligence are really the building blocks of how we operate and design and build software in the future, right? So these teams that are on the stream today are a proud example of people that are embracing this fact and building functioning high quality software products that is capable to be taken to production using some very powerful AI components. So the world is changing, and everybody in the community and LabLab is changing it with us. Our goal is to support builders. I think we're all builders, and what this proves is that we're stronger building together, that it's much more fun building together, to get people from all around the world and pull them into a warm embrace and actually build stuff together. And that gives us, I say sometimes, like Kurt Vonnegut, it's the act of creation, right? It's writing a poem, it's writing a song, it's writing a letter, but it's also creating software. And this allows us to work so much better, so much more effectively, and get that result that we desire, not in 6 or 12 months, but actually get it out in a week and then refine and build it out into something that's really beautiful and powerful. So what we witnessed, all of us together here, is the act of creation. So something came out of nothing, and I'm very excited about that. And I invite everybody to join the next event. So we are announcing Build Your AI Startup Hackathon Episodes 2, 24th of March. Go to LabLab, sign up, and build your AI startup effectively, like the teams that you saw on the stream today. That's all from me. I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything before we finish.
I just want to say the same about the next episode of the Build Your AI Startup Hackathon. Guys, if you just got inspired by a project you saw, or you still have idea you want to build, you have link actually now on Twitch channel. There in the chat I just pinned the link, so you may go and be the first people that enrolled, because we actually launched this hackathon a few hours before the stream. So now you have exclusive to be the first that enrolled. And I'm also thankful for that you joined the stream. And I hope to see you in the next streams and on LabLab as well. Goodbye.
Thank you.